Iga Swiatek has fully cemented herself as the queen of women's tennis after winning the 2022 Roland Garros title. Swiatek defeated 18-year-old Coco Gauff 6-1, 6-3 in 68 minutes to claim her second slam and second Roland Garros crown in 3 years. Going right into this match, it was a very shaky start from Gauff, as she practically gifted Swiatek the first 2 games purely off of unforced errors. She definitely had some jitters, which is understandable seeing as she was playing her first slam final. This was very important because the nerves were there for Swiatek too, but she was able to settle in a lot quicker with the early break and consolidation. Iga is definitely more vulnerable in the earlier stages of these big matches, so if Coco could have kept up earlier on and applied some type of scoreboard pressure, we could have had a much more competitive match. Gauff, meanwhile, like in her match against Trevisan, made far too many unforced errors early on, especially off that forehand wing. The problem was her mistakes weren't meaningful ones, as she wasn't trying to force something or be aggressive. A majority of them were simple neutral ball rallies where she lost connection with her body and overall stability and kept pulling up or backing up while hitting the ball. Gauff only managed to hold serve once in the opening set as she just served very poorly. She didn't execute at all because you either sacrifice the first serve percentage more and go for more on that first serve, or you try to be more consistent with it and have a higher percentage. Instead, her percentage was low and she didn't go for it as much as she needed to. Gauff managed 57% of first serves in, but she wasn't hitting her spots at all and didn't really go up and after like we're used to seeing. The second serve was also kind of weak and it didn't have enough kick or spin to keep Iga at bay. Gauff won 40% of first and second serve points, which is just unacceptable. Iga doesn't have as big of a first serve as Gauff, but she is a smarter server, targeting them well while also using a lot of spin and kick on her second serve. Iga, who didn't struggle at all in the first set on serve, made 79% of first serves, won 67% of points when doing so, and won 75% of second serve points. Coco also did have some slight openings in the opener to get a couple more games on the board, but I feel like she was being too passive and waited for Swiatek to miss rather than being more proactive. Iga did start to make those misses earlier on in the second set, which aided Coco in breaking and going up to love. Unlike against Kovinic or Zhang though, Iga remained pretty calm and managed to find another gear. The world number 1 started to hone in on her timing and hit full flight. She had Coco on a string, it seemed like, just consistently hitting with great depth and weight of shot. Gauff could not get away with leaving a ball shorter in the court like in previous rounds. The forehand, of course, was on fire for Iga, blasting 70, 80, even 90 miles per hour winners off that wing. The backhand, though, was equally as impressive, more specifically down the line, as Swiatek struck some truly unbelievable winners up that line, even off balls that were fairly deep in the court. Even though it was a 6-3 scoreline as opposed to the 6-1 first set, Swiatek finished the match much stronger than how she started it, and the thing was, Coco wasn't even playing bad at all. It honestly was the same level that we saw from her in the semifinal against Trevisan, but that level here with Iga is totally different. I feel like Gauff's team have got to make the forehand a greater weapon. The backhand is pretty solid as she used it to change directions well a couple of times today. She can get away with having an average forehand against most players on the tour, but against someone that's as good as Iga, both wings have got to be on, and right now the forehand especially can't hurt and pin the pole back behind the baseline. That forehand just cannot withstand pressure and pace very well, which is why we saw some mishits and balls landing near the bottom of the net once Swiatek really started to crank things up. I think the serve also has got to become a bigger weapon out there on court because Gauff has far too much serving potential to only hold serve twice all match. With all that being said, I'm very proud of Coco for her Roland Garros run and even performance today. She didn't play a bad match at all and actually played pretty decent, but she just ran into an opponent that literally nobody can defeat. Coco played well this entire tournament, not dropping a single set up until the finals. This was a big step for her to even make the championship match because a lot of people were already writing her off and making comparisons to her counterparts like Raducanu and Fernandez, and they're saying stuff like, Coco's supposed to be this big prodigy, how come Emma and Layla are making finals and she's not? Well, she made a slam final, so you can't say that anymore. Now, was Coco ready to win Roland Garros? Honestly, no, she wasn't. I know she felt that she was ready, but I don't think that she's at that slam winning level of tennis yet. The tour is at a weak point right now where the top players struggle to even make it past the second weekend slams. Gauff's run to the final was good, but she didn't have to face a single player inside the top 30 until this stage. This sounds weird, but I think it's a good thing that she lost in a way because she'll be less complacent and will work even harder to fully maximize and develop her game. Moreover, Coco doesn't really have a lot of experience in the deeper stages of big events. Her biggest result prior to this was the semifinals appearance at Rome last year, and her 2 lone titles were 250s. Swiatek, meanwhile, already has a slam under her belt and has won 4 1000 titles this year alone. Iga's also incredibly tough to beat in these championship matches, as still, no player has been able to win more than 5 games in her last 9 finals. I have to give Iga her props for maintaining her nerve and cool throughout this entire tournament, especially in this final. She said that she's perhaps even more proud of this title than her 2020 triumph because she was able to handle the pressure of being the overwhelming favorite. She told the media, "I'm more aware of how it is to win a slam, what it takes, how every puzzle has to come together, every aspect of the game has to work. With that awareness, even more happy and proud of myself because in 2020, I just felt that I'm lucky. This time, I felt that I really did the work." I feel like this win will only help her in the long run, as now she knows she can handle whatever pressure comes towards her. Swiatek was dominant throughout this entire fortnight, only dropping 1 set, which was to Xinwen Zhang. Zhang was the only one that truly challenged Iga this event. Kovanic did manage to win 8 games, but that was more due to Iga's poor level and drop in play. To beat Swiatek, you've got to come at her with some heat off of both wings, and unfortunately, Coco just didn't have it today. You also cannot give Iga any time from the ground. She's so good at sensing when she can pounce and get on the offensive, which a lot of these women need to be taking note of. This matchup just isn't a good one for Gauff at the moment, as she can't consistently challenge the pole from the ground. Coco's able to defend so well and scramble and just make a whole bunch of balls back in play that really no opponent else can do, and extract errors from her opponents, but against Swiatek that's nearly impossible because Iga hits such a heavy ball and can hit winners from nearly, it seems like, every part of the court. It was great to see these 2 young superstars take the big stage, and hopefully Gauff can make some improvements in her game so that we can have a compelling rivalry between these 2 in the future. Gauff got pretty emotional after the match, which was hard but good to see because it shows you how much she wants it. Even though she knew and knows that Iga's playing phenomenally at the moment, Gauff believed that she could come out and win this match, and she maintained a very positive demeanor throughout, even fist pumping after she lost points. Gauff also had a very positive outlook about the result, telling the press, "I know I've been saying a lot, oh, it's just a tennis match, you know, it doesn't matter. Really, that's what I believe. It doesn't matter. I mean, with the emotions now, I'm feeling a lot, but tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and be really proud of myself. I feel like the moment was definitely more minimal than I thought. I mean, in the match, it probably looked like I was freaking out, but really it was just Iga was too good." I have to agree with what Coco said. First, at the end of the day, tennis is just a game. It's not life or death. She recognizes that there are a lot more pressing things and issues going on in the world right now, like with what's going on in Ukraine and these mass shootings here in the US. I feel like this more nonchalant approach and attitude has helped her a lot, particularly in this event, and will only benefit her in the future. Meanwhile, Gauff did indeed look to be very poised and calm out there, and it's good that she realized that her opponent was just on another level. We have to keep reminding ourselves that Coco is only 18 years old, and with her talent, Gauff will be playing plenty of major finals in the near future. In fact, she's actually playing the doubles final tomorrow alongside Jessica Pegula, so we'll see if she can grab the winner's trophy there. Swiatek also got emotional during the trophy ceremony, which shows you how much this title means to her. This is so deserved, and I'm very happy that Iga's out of the single slam club. It's not where she belongs at all. No offense to the other ones that are still only have one slam. You guys did incredible to get that one slam. I always knew that she wouldn't have been a one-hit wonder because her game was just too good for that. People were expecting Swiatek to dominate immediately after her 2020 triumph, but it took some time for her to find her game and adjust to being this big star on tour. Even then, she was very consistent, making the second weeks of all the slams. What's different now is both her game and mental toughness, as her traveling psychologist Daria Abramowitz has been a fundamental member of the team. The head coach Tomasz Rykorowski, of course, has made a huge difference too, with the pair having phenomenal results since their partnership late last season. With the win today, Iga extends her winning streak to 35, matching Venus Williams' run back in 2000, which includes the Wimbledon and US Open titles plus an Olympic gold. Shout out to Venus for that, by the way. We now look forward to the grass season, where the field has a slightly better chance at getting the pole, as it's probably her weakest surface at the moment. Still, with how she's been playing, it might not even make a difference. Swiatek is scheduled to play in a grass court lead-up event in Berlin, which is supposed to start in about a week or so. Iga has practically double the points of the new world number 2 Anett Kontaveit. Ons Jabeur is at a career high ranking of 4, while American Jessica Pegula makes her top 10 debut. Gauff, meanwhile, moves to a career high of 13 with the finals appearance. That's all for this video, and let me know your thoughts about the final in the comments below. Was it a disappointment or more of a delight? Make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post a men's final preview and post-match analysis between Nadal and Ruud. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.